Yeah, you guys doing today? Christian here. Well, what separates boys and men? Responsibility. The amount of responsibility is going to directly correlate with where you're at in life on what kind of tells you the responsibilities in life is it's an interesting thing. If you have little to no responsibilities in life, you're just a kid, you're just doing whatever at home maybe, or you just have the most basic of responsibilities to maybe make sure that you survive. you know, you you can't really grow up with much of doing that because you're not challenging yourself. But when you take on more responsibility, you get that promotion at the job. Now you have more responsibility there. Now you have to deal with more stuff. You start a business, you're a business owner. Now you're in charge of all these people. You have a family, now you really have like the ultimate job of other people's lives that are directly in your hands. So the amount of responsibility, it's been people have been kind of running away from it. And and it really changes who you are and how you become stronger and better and learn more and all the great things that come with it. So I want to challenge you guys with taking on more responsibility, taking on bigger tasks, challenging yourself to go into that dark, crazy, scary place that you're like, I don't want to go there. I don't know what to do. You know, I I don't want to fail. I don't want to, whatever the case is. Challenge yourself, push yourself, go into those places, push yourself to the limits, push yourself further than at least you did today. Just start pushing yourself a little bit more each day. So, Jordan Peterson has a quote that goes, "It's in responsibility that most people find the meaning that sustains them through life. It's not in happiness. It's not in impulsive pleasure." And I mean, it's simple, but it's very impactful because we're always in today's world, we're always talking about, getting to the next thing. I just, I just want to be happy. I just want this and that, and that's going to make me happy. And these materialistic things aren't going to make you happy, especially not long term. You might have fun with them or something, but that's not going to bring the happiness. The actual happiness and joy is going to come from those more deep, fulfilling things that you do in life. The time with friends and family, the accomplishments you make in life, the sense of knowing that you actually did something and you were actually able to challenge yourself. It's all those kinds of things that are actually going to really spend more time of developing you and building your character. So Tim Grover has one. He says, if you think the cost of winning is too high, wait until you get the bill from regret. And I always love that quote because it's like, you know, I can I can be afraid of the situation now and run away and just be scared like a dog with his tail between his legs and just run away from a problem. And it's like, okay, you can do that, and plenty do, but it's a scary situation, but you can challenge yourself, you can push yourself, you can deal with those things because regret hurts a whole lot worse than failure, than seeing what your limits are, than challenging yourself. So just taking on responsibility. That's really just kind of what I want to talk about today is taking on more new responsibility. Voltaire has one, is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. And I see that all the time in today's world is we're so sucked into our technology, into, and into all these like monotonous things that have no real meaning and and they just don't have any kind of an actual sense of deep, meaningful impact in our lives. It's just these mundane things that do nothing but distract us, that just keep us from doing more good things or becoming who we should be or spending that time with those people that we should be spending time with. And we live in our own little prison cells that we make up for ourselves. And it's our phones, it's our TikTok, it's the swiping, it's the, you know, always eating out whatever junk food. It's the living in the instant gratification world that we're so accustomed to now. It's like that's what's been going on for so many years, decades now. So it's hard to get out of where you're comfortable at. That's why, comfort kills. You have to be pushing yourself out of that area of comfort. And you're supposed to challenge yourself. And that's going to come with taking on responsibilities because you can survive each day. But if you make yourself, well, what if I get up at 7 o'clock or 6 or 5 or 4? Wake up earlier, go to bed earlier, make myself go work out, make myself eat better, blah, 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 blah. You implement all these new things in life to take on responsibility just for yourself. And then when you can actually take care of yourself and learn some responsibility there, then you can apply it in other areas. Uh, but again, like I was saying earlier, we let this fear seep in and just overtake us because it's well, like anything else. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, and we don't like it as it's kind of going against human nature. But so whenever it's in those areas that you really find out and learn who you are, because there's this Latin saying, "In stere quiniculis invenitar." Not at all probably how you pronounce it, so I butchered it. But anyways, the idea is, uh, it means in filth it will be found. So the area that you're most avoiding, running away from, hiding, not wanting to look at, that's where you're going to find the most growth. That's where you're going to find the areas that are going to push you to becoming the man that you need to be. And and again, those areas suck. That's why it's in the dark. That's why it's the scary places. But you find out who you need to be because sometimes that hill is really just a grain of sand or a mountain, whatever the phrasing is, in some song I heard. But it's like sometimes that mountain you're climbing is really just a grain of sand, and it's just about perspective. So idea for today really with all that is just to take on more new responsibility and build yourself up. Become the best version of yourself you can each day and find out what that is for you. Find out what it is that you can do to build yourself up, taking responsibility, taking on more new responsibility. That's a one of the best ways that you can do anything because when you have so much on your shoulders that you have to deal with and take care of and work on, learn, et cetera, then I mean it just builds you. It builds you and it challenges you. It builds your character and then you get this sense of accomplishment. And you're like, I was given this task and I overcame it. I did it. I overcame it. I dealt with it. I whatever the case is. And it's like, well, I did that. Awesome. Like I did that. I'm so happy for myself. I did this thing that I didn't think I could do. Well, since I thought I couldn't do this, but now I did. Maybe this other thing I think I can't do. Maybe I can do that actually, but let me try. And that's life. So take on some new responsibility, challenge yourself, and just become the best version of you that you guys can be. So hope that was able to be helpful in some way, guys. Hope the best for you. Have a very blessed week. Much love. See you guys later.